Now, from your 24-hour news source, this is the KCRG TV9 Weekend Morning News.
We hope your Sunday is off to just a great start, and really just try to enjoy today because tomorrow is a little uncertain right now.
Yeah, a bit of wet rain moving in. We're going to get some snow farther to the north, and we'll show you all the details. Have our snowfall forecast coming up. First this morning, if you joined us at 6 o'clock, you noticed both Dubuque and Washington had near zero or some quarter-mile visibilities, at least at their airport locations. That has improved as we expected, so I'm not expecting fog to impact your morning. However, there still is a little bit of reduction in visibility as you look toward the horizon. Today, compared to tomorrow, more clouds. There are a few flurries that are possible across northern Iowa. Generally, though, just a mostly cloudy day. Still, though, above normal as far as our temperatures are concerned. So that's why you can, as Jordee mentioned, get out and enjoy your Sunday. Tomorrow's a bit of a change. A Monday mix moves in. We'll see rain and snow develop, ending as rain in the south, snow in the north, and then followed by some colder air for a few days. There's a live picture right now from our McGrath Dubuque City Cam, and it is a very nice start to the day. There are some clouds and some sun out there, so call it partly cloudy to mostly cloudy right now across eastern Iowa. Temperatures in the upper teens and lower 20s. Winds very light. Not a real wind chill to deal with. High today, upper 30s and lower 40s with a light southeast wind at 5 to 10. We'll time out that next chance of precipitation coming up.
Sounds good. Thank you. The governor of Mississippi declared a state of emergency ahead of predictions that the river running through the area could overflow its banks and cause widespread flooding. Forecasters believe the Pearl River will crest at 38 feet later today, following days of torrential rains. Officials say the state should prepare for the third worst flood in its history. Authorities say snowy road conditions caused a fatal crash yesterday morning in southern Iowa around 9 yesterday. The Iowa State Patrol responded to the crash near Highway 23 and 310th Street. That's southeast of Fremont. Troopers believe a vehicle driven by Mallory Johnston of Fremont lost control on a curve in the road, overturned, and landed on its top. Johnston was killed in the crash. Her passenger, a 21-year-old from Oskaloosa, was injured and taken to a hospital. An inmate at the Anamosa State Penitentiary assaulted a correctional officer Friday night. That's according to the authorities with the Iowa Department of Corrections. Authorities say around 7:30 p.m. the officer was overseeing the distribution of medications to inmates in a mental health unit when one inmate refused to take a prescription. Officers tried to get that inmate to then take the medicine, but authorities say the inmate unexpectedly hit the officer in the face. Authorities say correctional officers were able to place the inmate in restraints. The officer was taken to the Jones Regional Medical Center with injuries to his face and his hand. The inmate did not receive any major injuries. People in Linn County had a chance to ask their lawmakers how the 2020 Iowa session is going so far and express any concerns about current bills right now. The League of Women Voters in Linn County hosted this forum. They invited all Republican and Democratic lawmakers from Linn County to participate. Public education was a key topic here. Some lawmakers stressed the need for more funding and even lowering class sizes. People could also ask lawmakers any question at the event, which organizers say is the entire point.
And I find that when you meet them in person, it really gives you a good idea about who they are. And when they meet you in person, it gives them a good idea about who you are versus just through an email. And I know many of the legislators say, too, they want to hear your story. They want to understand and be able to put a face to something that is important in a person's life.
The nonpartisan group hosts these forums every month during the session. Early voting is now underway in Nevada, a key caucus state that is next up in the 2020 quest for the Democratic presidential nominee. The Democratic candidates are zeroing in on that Western contest and gearing up for yet another debate. Here's ABC's Rachel Scott.
The Democratic race for president swings west. Candidates flooding the state of Nevada with the caucuses here just 1 week away. Senator Bernie Sanders bringing his supporters straight to the polls, leading a march as early voting gets underway. Senator Bernie Sanders riding a wave of enthusiasm after his New Hampshire victory, brushing off criticism from some union leaders who are slamming his Medicare for All proposal. Senator, any concern about possibly losing union votes?
Well, were you just watching this?
Yes, I was.
Okay, I've never been to. We have about 700 people marching at the vote. We're feeling absolutely great.
Former Vice President Joe Biden, hoping for a boost, says he has a shot at placing top 2 in Nevada.
99% of the African-American vote hasn't spoken yet, and 99% of the Latino vote hasn't spoken yet.
Nevada is the first test to see which candidates can appeal to minority voters. Why should they give your campaign a chance?
Well, I need to get to know them because my name ID wasn't very high, my bank account not as big.
Though he is skipping the state, former New York City Mayor Michael Bloomberg is closing in on the debate stage here. As his profile in this race grows, so does the scrutiny around his past. Just this week, Bloomberg taking heat for his previous comments on racial discrimination in lending, a practice known as redlining and stop and frisk.
I should have acted sooner, and I should have stopped it, and I didn't, and I apologize for that.
The Washington Post reporting on allegations of sexism at his company that have dogged Bloomberg for years, as reported recently by ABC News. His spokesperson responding, saying Mike simply does not tolerate any kind of discrimination or harassment. And the Drudge Report claiming Bloomberg is considering announcing 2016 Democratic nominee Hillary Clinton as a running mate. His campaign telling ABC News tonight, "We are focused on the primary and the debate, not VP speculations."
Early caucus goers in Nevada have reported delays in the process so far. Some lines that even slowed down to just a crawl level. This was a scene, and you can see long and slow lines for Democratic voters at several precincts. At one place, voters stood in line for more than 3 hours. The issue seemed to be large turnout and not enough volunteers. Early voting runs through Tuesday. The Nevada caucuses are next Saturday. That's February 22nd. The Iowa Democratic Party gathered Saturday afternoon to vote on a new interim chairman. The party voted for State Representative Mark Smith from Marshall County. IDP Chairman Troy Price resigned Wednesday after the Iowa caucus chaos. He made the announcement in a letter to the Iowa Democratic Party State Central Committee. In the letter, Price said serving as the Iowa Democratic Party chair was one of the greatest honors of his life. He applauded the party's efforts in the 2020 Iowa caucuses in regards to satellite caucuses and precinct meetings, but said Democrats deserved better than what happened on caucus night. A unique take on a softball tournament wraps up in the Midwest this weekend. Participants actually play the game while snowmobiling. You can see there.
Looks like it would be a lot of fun, and if you've got to get to some snow and want some snow, there's some in our forecast as we head through the next 48 hours. Right now, though, we'll just deal with some clouds and some still mild temperatures. We'll have the first alert forecast for Independence, Mechanicsville, and the rest of eastern Iowa. Stay with your 24-hour news and weather source, KCRG TV 9.